People's State Bank is a locally owned and managed bank with convenient locations in southwest Wisconsin and northeast Iowa. If you're looking for a place where you're more than just a number, but still have access to convenient technology and low fees, People's State Bank is it. As a community bank, they're proud to support many of the local charities, county fairs, community events, and more. When you become a part of People's State Bank, you can be confident that you're standing with a good cause. People's State Bank, member FDIC.
This is a Queen Bee Radio High School Sports Presentation. Queen Bee Radio proudly brings you People's State Bank and Grant Regional Health Center coverage of high school sports. Presented by Cuba City, Kieler, and Darlington Family Dental, and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors. And sponsored by House Electric, Brian's Auto Body and Paint, Vitech Incorporated, Carver's Hardwood Flooring, Claire Bank, Donnie's Tire and Auto, Fuller's Milker Center, Gary's Pest Control, Community First Bank, Guy's Truck and Tractor Service, Hernson's Ace Hardware, Krantz Auto Parts, the Peterson Agency, the Raleigh Cheese House, Mound City Bank, the Russell Law Office, the Shoebox, Sloan Implement, Timmerman's Talents, Tricor Insurance, and Wolf Construction.
Good evening, volleyball fans, and welcome to High School Volleyball, Tuesday Night Volleyball, presented on 97.7 Country WGLR, WGLR.com, the 97.7 Country WGLR mobile app, and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. We know we're connected, right? Camera's not on. I'm sure they're working on that. You'll be able to see shortly. From Belmont High School, the Potosi Chieftains take on the Belmont Braves in Six Rivers West Conference Volleyball. From the Ayers Furniture Best Seat in the House, I'm Steve Prestegard, and two teams meet in the first or second match of the Six Rivers West season, depending on whom you're referring to. Potosi's off to a great start, heading to its Six Rivers West opener tonight. The Chieftains went 4-0 to win the Monticello edition of the Six Rivers Invitational on Saturday. Things have gone less well for Belmont. The Braves were swept by River Ridge in their opener, and then lost to Barnabell 2-1 and River Ridge 2-0 in the Highland edition of the Six Rivers Invitational back on Saturday. But obviously they would like to get things going on the correct direction from their perspective. On the Shoebox scoreboard, presented by the Shoebox in Black Earth, the largest independent shoe store in the Midwest. Kind of a light schedule tonight. In the Six Rivers West, Benton is at Highland, River Ridge is at Schulzburg, and in the Six Rivers East, Judah is at Albany, Blackhawk is at Argyle, and Monticello is at Pecatonica. Ridge and Valley tonight, Ithaca is at Riverdale, and DeSoto is at Lafarge. The SWC and the SWAL get going on Thursday as far as their conference schedules go. We are broadcasting from the Ayers Furniture Best Seat in the House in the Ayers Furniture broadcast booth. Ayers Furniture in downtown Ridgeway for free delivery on heirloom quality furniture for every room in your home for what's sure to be the best seat in your house. Be sure to visit Ayers Furniture at ayersfurniture.com. When we return, the Raleigh Cheese pre-match show presented by Raleigh Cheese at the intersection of Highways 11 and 23 in the heart of Lafayette County. Don't forget the cheese. And we're back after this on 97.7 Country WGLR.
Pre-game one.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the final days of Sleep Number's biggest sale of the year. All beds on sale. Up to 50% off the limited edition smart bed. Ends Monday. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
Life doesn't wait, and neither should you. Aleve can help you deal with pain less throughout your day. Whether it's a long day on your feet, a demanding workout, or everyday aches and pains, you need relief that can keep up when pain persists. Aleve is here for you with longer-lasting body pain relief compared to leading OTC-branded pain relievers. With just one pill, Aleve lasts up to 12 hours. Don't let those aches hold you back from doing what's important to you. Use as directed.
Hi, this is Doug Dolter with Dubuque Mattress. Mattresses are not something that you should have to unbox and set up yourself. Frankly, they're cumbersome. That's why, at Dubuque Mattress, we deliver, set up, and get rid of the old mattress for you. And it's not just for people in Dubuque. We deliver just about anywhere. Chicago, Des Moines, Minneapolis, Kansas City, or anywhere in between. So, when it's time for you to get a new mattress, let Dubuque Mattress take care of all of it for you. Dubuque Mattress, for the rest of your life.
Dubuque Mattress Factory, you get a little snooze time.
The agriculture programs at Southwest Tech offer a variety of career training in the areas of dairy, livestock, and mechanics. Pursue a degree in production agriculture to obtain diverse careers, including herd manager, farm equipment manager, custom operator, and more. Receive hands-on training through farm tours, operation, and management of the college's crop ground. Learn more at swtc.edu/ag. Southwest Tech, this is where you belong.
Pre-game one.
Welcome to the Raleigh Cheese pre-match show on 97.7 Country WGLR, Potosi and Belmont in Six Rivers West Volleyball. We're joined by recent Potosi graduate, but now the head coach, Justice Udelhoven. Thanks for joining us. Let's talk about that. You graduated in 2020, so you're not very far removed from playing in this game tonight.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's been interesting so far.
Yeah, how has it been? You know, because most coaches have a few years of distance, but you know, you really don't. I mean, if my math is right, these the seniors of yours, or basically all the players, were in middle school when you were still playing.
Oh, yeah. And then as soon as I graduated in 2020, that following season I was coaching the JV, so I haven't left at all.
Moving right along. The other thing, of course, that's interesting is that you're coaching your younger sister, Manhattan. So what's that like?
It's actually been really good. I've been super excited about it. She's been absolutely amazing, and I think that's really helped my relationship with all the other girls as well.
Okay, you're off to a great start. You basically blew through the Six Rivers Invitational in Monticello, didn't give up a set. What did you do really well Saturday?
Overall, I guess they did everything really well. I think what I was most proud of was when we were in a deficit, when we were down, the girls still came back and they fought, which has been something we've worked really, really hard on, is to kind of overcome that and get over that and keep playing through it.
And I would have to think that helps when you consider that you could be facing those teams in the postseason also, depending on who goes in which direction.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. When things are going well for you, what are you guys doing?
Well, normally our energy is always very high at those points. Everybody's kind of focusing in, and we're trying to still play competitive, has been my whole thing throughout this, just to make sure that we are being competitive and we're trying to compete the entire time.
All right, now, Belmont, perennial on top of the Six Rivers West. They're off to a little rough start, but they have a lot of players they have to replace. What about the Braves as a challenge? What do you feel like you have to do today?
You know, I'm not really sure. I think it'll be interesting to see how my girls react after doing so well on Saturday. I hope that they want to go in with that same competitive mindset and keep working really hard, and I just hope that we don't get in our own way in that sense.
All right, thanks a lot. Good luck today.
Thank you.
Justice Udelhoven, the Potosi coach. More after this on 97.7 Country WGLR.
Pre-game two.
Show your school spirit with every swipe. People's State Bank offers debit cards featuring your local school's mascot. And now through September 30th, you can upgrade for 50% off. Even better, $5 from your card fee goes right back to your school. It's an easy way to support your team and look good doing it. Visit any People's State Bank location to upgrade your debit card today. Iowa sales tax may apply to fees and service charges. People's State Bank, member FDIC.
For the past 70 years, Grant Regional Health Center has been more than a hospital. We've been your neighbors, your caregivers, your support in life's biggest moments. From welcoming new life to standing strong in times of need, we've grown with you because of you. As we celebrate our 70th anniversary, we remain committed to our communities and what matters most, exceptional local care for you. Grant Regional Health Center, celebrating 70 years of caring for our communities.
America is kept safe because the Army National Guard responds, protects, and supports our nation when it needs them most. The Army National Guard responds to disasters such as wildfires and floods. They protect us with missile defense, cybersecurity, and civilian support teams for chemical, biological, and radiological hazards. Be there for your community and your country. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is Brady Vondra from Vondra Ag Service, inviting you and your family to Platteville Dairy Days.
Boogie your way to Platteville Dairy Days, staying alive in 2025, September 5th through the 7th. The fun includes animals, rides, a flea market, tractor pull, dairy show, parade, and hypnotist Brian Imbus, plus delicious food and beverages. Bring your whole crew to Legion Park for great memories at Platteville Dairy Days.
This message is from your friends and neighbors at Vondra Ag Service in Platteville and Livingston.
Pre-game 2.
Ollie Cheese pre-match show continues on 97.7 Country WGLR. Potosi and Belmont, either game 1 or game 2 to start the season, depending on who you're talking to. We're going to talk to the coach playing game number 2 or match number 2, Danielle Boner to Belmont. Thanks for joining us. First question, kind of a rough start for you the last week, but how do you feel like your team is playing right now?
Yeah, you're right. We had a rough start. I think what we're doing is we're coming together as a team. We have some new players playing in different positions, so that makes it a challenge when you haven't been on the court all together. Some of our seniors, this is one of their first times playing together since 8th grade or even their freshman year. So this is really an opportunity for them to come together and to play again. Those challenges we're working through, and I'm confident that tonight we're going to see a different team than what we did on Thursday.
That is one thing about last year, that you kind of came on really at the end of the season and, in fact, won the regional. You didn't win the conference, but you won the regional, so you ended up as one of the top 16 basically in Division 5 a year ago.
Yeah, it was actually a super exciting way to end, right? So starting off the way that we have isn't the most fortunate thing, but I think it's really an opportunity for us to make change. We're right at the beginning of the season. This is our opportunity to dive in, swing. We're really wanting them to own in, and they've done a really good job in the last 3 days of practice that we've had.
All right, now it's Potosi. They're always a solid team, certainly, and distance-wise, one of your closest opponents. What do you think about the Chieftains from what you've seen? They're off to a great start, obviously. And what do you feel like you have to do today?
Yeah, it sounds like they had a really good Saturday. I think what we need to do is we need to come off collectively as a team right away versus separating ourselves and thinking about stat-wise, how many kills can I get? It matters what happens on the court as a team versus individually.
All right, thanks a lot. Good luck today.
In game 1.
This news update is presented by Fenimore Dental, helping patients of all ages achieve healthy teeth and gums for life. See Dr. Rain and his staff at Fenimore Dental.
Southwest Tech is excited to announce a new precision agronomy program designed to equip students with cutting-edge skills in agricultural technology, crop management, and data-driven decision-making. This innovative program combines classroom instruction with hands-on experience on their newly acquired 80 acres of cropland. Graduates of the precision agronomy program have a variety of career paths within Wisconsin's robust ag sector. Don't wait. Take the next step today. Learn more and apply for the precision agronomy program now at swtc.edu.
In game 1.
Well, I told you we'd have a screen. Gray Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of Tuesday Night Volleyball presented by Cuba City Kieler and Darlington Family Dental and Carey Seamless Gutters to Overhead Doors on 97.7 Country WGLR and on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Presented by H&M Plumbing, Heating, and Electrical and Lely Center Monroe. As we get ready for match number 2 of the season, of the Six Rivers West season for Belmont and the opener in the Six Rivers West. And thanks to Rob Spangler and whoever he chased down here to get our YouTube channel going. So that is good, obviously, because people like to watch and they like to listen. We always are fine with that. In the Six Rivers West last year, Highland was the regular season, they were the champion. In fact, they went undefeated in the Six Rivers West. Belmont, who ended up tied for second, ended up actually getting into the sectional before they were knocked off by Barneveld. So that was how last season went in the Six Rivers. Potosi finished in 4th, and that was with Tammy Cooley, who was the coach in Potosi, and she has now been replaced, as we said in the pregame show, by Justice Udelhoven, who just graduated back in 2020 from Potosi High School, and she immediately became an assistant coach, and so she literally never stopped with the volleyball program after she graduated, which is a little bit amusing, but there is actually, I suppose you could say, kind of a trend of that going around where you have very young head coaches, and for a variety of reasons, most likely having to do with it's not easy to coach, obviously, and if somebody is interested right off the bat and they feel like they have the organizational skills and all the sorts of things to coach as a head coach, regardless of how many years they are removed from high school, they'll give them the chance. Our injury report tonight brought to you by Russell Law Offices. If you've been injured, contact Russell Law Offices. Their experienced team of personal injury lawyers will fight for your rights and help you get the compensation you deserve. Visit RussellLawWI.com. Both teams report everybody is ready to go, which is, and obviously that's good in a general sense, but it's particularly, you don't want to have a bunch of players get hurt very early on, which sadly does sometimes happen, but that has not happened to either of these teams, fortunately. Colors of the game presented by Cuba City Family Dental, Kieler Family Dental, and Darlington Family Dental. 3 convenient locations to serve your dental needs. And we're trying to figure out, I think Potosi is wearing black jerseys with dark red numbers outlined in very thin gold. So that's going to be kind of interesting to identify players. It'll be easier on the Belmont side because they're wearing white jerseys, orange numbers, and as nearly every team does, black shorts. We mentioned on the Shoebox scoreboard presented by the Shoebox and Black Earth, the largest independent shoe store in the Midwest of the Six Rivers West, Benton at Highland and River Ridge at Schulzburg. And in the Six Rivers East tonight, Judah at Albany, Blackhawk at Argyle, and Monticello at Pecatonica. And in the Ridge and Valley, Ithaca is at Riverdale and DeSoto is at Lafarge. The SWC and the SWAL do not start their conference seasons until Thursday. So they are actually not playing at all this evening. Catch, by the way, our live and archived H&M Plumbing, Heating, Electrical, and Laley Center Monroe video coverage on our Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Coming up, we'll have our Fuller's Milker Center starting lineups. We'll hear from the Belmont High School band, which if I turn the crowd mic on, you'll be able to hear right now. And we'll be back with the start of Belmont and Potosi after these messages on 97.7 Country WGLR.
In Game 2.
Hello, Ben here from Darlington Family Dental. Your smile is as important to us as it is to you. Give us a call and schedule a consultation to figure out if clear aligners might be right for you. The consultation is free. Zero interest financing is available. This solution for your smile might be more cost-effective than you think. Call our team and experience patient-centered care for you and your family at Cuba City, Darlington, and Kieler Family Dental. Ask about our new patient specials. Keep smiling, Tri-States.
Our Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school sports on Queen Bee Radio is presented by Cuba City, Kieler, and Darlington Family Dental, and by Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors. Check out our upcoming schedule at am1590wpvl.com.
In Game 2.
Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of Tuesday Night Volleyball presented by Cuba City, Kieler, and Darlington Family Dental, and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors on 97.7 Country WGLR and on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel, presented by H&N Plumbing, Heating, Electrical, and Lely Center Monroe. I'm sure you'll be shocked to hear that we have football coming up on Friday. Of course, the SWC, SWAL, and, well, in fact, all the conference openers. And Friday we will have Richland Center at Lancaster on 97.7 Country WGLR. Platteville at Prairie du Chien on X1071, and Belleville at Cuba City on Super Hits 106. Everything starting after 6:30. Saturday, Badger football hosting Middle Tennessee, 1 o'clock here on 97.7 Country WGLR. And then on Sunday, we will have Detroit and the Packers on 97.7 Country WGLR. Now, our national anthem, followed by the Fuller's Milker Center starting lineups. Belmont High School Band, directed by Brian Lenhair, proving, as we always say here, that whether sung or played, the national anthem is best performed live. And I'm not quite sure why our crowd mic is being finicky here. But hopefully we'll make it decide to work. At any rate, it is time for the starting lineups presented by Fuller's Milker Center. See Fuller's complete hygiene line and options for your brand new dairy setup or existing parlor remodel. Fuller's in Lancaster and Richland Center, and at Fuller'sMilkerCenter.com. Potosi 4-0. And as mentioned, they swept the Monticello Six Rivers Invitational over New Glarus. Benton, Pecatonica, and Monticello 2-0 each. And here is their rotation. Addie Nebergall is a middle hitter. She is a senior starting off serving. Emily Schaefer, an outside hitter. She's a junior following her. And then Lillian Cooley, another middle hitter, a senior. And then Elena Kirchhoff, who goes between center and outside hitter, a junior. Chloe Sedbrook, defensive specialist. She is a junior. And Manhattan Udehoven is the libero. She is a senior. Actually, she's listed as an outside hitter. Kylie Dressler, a junior, will be the libero, it looks like, for Potosi. For Belmont, 0-3 and 0-1 in the Six Rivers West. They'll start with Addie McNett at center. She is a senior. Lexi Rickers, an outside hitter. She is a junior. Callie Jenkins, who goes between right side and center. She is a senior. It'll be either Brittany Taylor at defensive specialist or Lydia Schmeltz at defensive specialist or right side hitter, junior and senior respectively in the serving order. And then Carson Raymaker, a junior, as an outside hitter. And then it will be Reagan Spangler in the middle. She is a sophomore. And the libero is, Emily Ryder, and she is a junior. Danielle Bonin, fifth season, 59 wins with Braves. And Justice Udelhoven, her first year, a Potosi graduate, and she is 4-0 after on Saturday. Belmont, meanwhile, after losing to River Ridge, they got beat by Barneveld 2-1 and River Ridge 2-0 in the Highland edition of the Six Rivers Invitational on Saturday. Belmont will move right to left. And therefore, obviously, Potosi left to right here in set number 1. High school volleyball on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Addie McNett to serve. And that hit in the air, bump set, and then returned to Belmont. And now Potosi gets it back, and then a tip over, and that'll go for a point. And it will be the middle hitter getting the point. It's 1-0 Potosi. Potosi now with Nebergall to serve. Bump set in the side, and then bumped over. Potosi should be able to set that up. There's a hit over, and that makes it tie at 1. Emily Schaefer now. Let me try that. How about getting the right team, Steve? Well, that's going to go back to Potosi because it will now be Emily Schaefer because it is now 2-1 Potosi. And here is the Potosi serve, a line drive, dug out. The back set, and a tip over. Potosi gets it over, and double hit is called on Belmont. So Potosi goes up 3-1. Serve into the back. Dug out by Ryder, and then a line drive into the back row. Potosi handles that left side spike and ends up missed, but that was a good thing for Belmont because it ended up going out. But apparently it was in fact touched, and so it is 4-1 Potosi here in set number 1. Kind of a problem on a bump here, but they're able to get it over. Now Potosi with it. And that ends up going to the Belmont side. They're able to return it. One hand pump, and I wouldn't say it's a case of better to be lucky than good, but sometimes a very soft hit ends up being a hit that connects. And it's 5-1 Potosi here in set number 1. Up, hunted over. Now Potosi with a big spike. That is dug out. Bump set from the back, and it has to be sent over by Ryder. Now at the left side of Potosi tip, but into the net, 5-2. We're brought to you by Mountain City Bank. Their total line of credit allows you to use the equity in your home to do the things you want. Stop in at Mountain City Bank to apply. Offer subject to approval. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender. Learn more at mountcitybank.com. Emily Ryder serving. And now it's bumped. And on the left side, a hit. Dug out and back by the other libero, Dressler. Now Potosi sends it over. That's a high bump in back. And then sent over by Schmeltz, but into the net. Now, actually, that did go over, and it's 5-3. Belmont, which was down 5-1, they've scored back-to-back points. And there's I think Potosi didn't, I think they must have been penalized there for an alignment error because the whistle came as the serve was made, and then there's an ace, and suddenly we're tied at 5 here in set number 1. Now 4 points in a row. And Ryder with the running jump serve, but misses everything, and so it's 6-5 Potosi. And the Chieftains now serving. Fritz's Burner Service in Darlington. Contact Fritz's Burner Service, your best choice for all heating and cooling needs in Darlington and the surrounding area. Check them out at fritzsburnerservice.com. Hit from the left side into the back middle. Spike and out. And we're tied at 6 in set number 1. Substitution for Belmont. And we're brought to you by Community First Bank. If you're in the communities where you live, work, and play, experience yourself the difference at Community First Bank. CFBank.com, member FDIC. Into the back row. Bump set. And then spiked over. That's dug out, but a carry is called, and Belmont has its first lead of the match, 7-6. Another serve into the back row. Right side spike too far, and it's 8-6. Belmont took a while to get going, but they have a 2-point lead now here in set number 1. Another serve, and that's another alignment error, and that is going to force a timeout. It is 9-6 Belmont, and Potosi will call its first timeout. Back after this on 97.7 Country WGLR.
In Game 3.
Like any business, success in dairying is often determined by who you know rather than what you know. That's why it's good to know the pros at Fuller's, your Gia dealer. Fuller's is your source for the automated milking systems line and all of the latest in automated milking systems. Make your operation more efficient and profitable and get the most out of your dairy herd by partnering with the experts at Fuller's Milker Center, LLC, your local Gia dealer in Lancaster, Richland Center, and FullersMilkersCenter.com.
Fuller's Milker Center. Our Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school sports on Queen Bee Radio is presented by Cuba City, Kieler, and Darlington Family Dental, and by Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors. Check out our upcoming schedule at am1590wpvl.com.
In Game 3.
9-6 Belmont leading Potosi in set number 1 after they were down 5-1. Spike on the left side, high bump, double hit. 10-6. Belmont in front. We're brought to you by Lely Center Monroe. Call your local dairy automation specialist, Jordan Wilson, at Lely Center Monroe. Let me just check that. But meanwhile, back to play here. Spike on the left side. Almost hit the floor. We're able to handle that. And in the back row, a spike that hits... Well, bump that hits the basket, but they're able to get it back over to the Belmont side. Now a spike from the back row by Ryder, and Potosi is unable to bring that back, and it's 11-6. Now this is a 4-point run, 5-point run now by the Braves after, again, they were down 5-1 in this first set. Tip over from the middle by Spangler. Now from the back row. That is dug out. And a quick send over, and that's going to be 12-6 as Potosi was not ready to handle that. Anderson Weber Toyota Dubuque powering our audio stream. Anderson Weber Toyota in Dubuque when you are ready. Here's a set, and then sent over by Dressler. Now back. Belmont sends it back over. One-hand bump now on the Braves side. Over on the right side, that's tipped and dug out. Set from the near side, spike from the middle. Dug out and back by Dressler. Left side spike is too far and out of bounds. And finally, Potosi gets it back, but Chieftains down 12-9 in set number 1. And, however, there is an ace, and that's the way you get back. There it's 12-10. Claire Bank with their 8 convenient locations in Southwest Wisconsin. Proud to support our community events. Claire Bank, where they say we can do that. Member FDIC. at an equal housing lender. There's a send-over, and Potosi is unable to bring that back, so it's 13-10. Belmont in front in set number 1. And here's the line drive serve, dug out, diving bump, and then sent back over. There's a quick send over, and Belmont gets the point because Potosi wasn't ready for it. Sedbrook gets it, and it's 14-8. Belmont in front. There's a spike that gets right over the net. And so Potosi's able to get it back, 14-9. We'll see if the Chieftains can start a rally here. Bryan's Auto Body and Paint Specialist. The pros at Bryan's get the job done right for unexpected dings or major repair projects. Head to Bryan's Auto Body and Paint in Lancaster. That's dug out. Left side spike. Dug out for Belmont. The set, and then the spike by Ryder. And that ends up being a carry at a point for Belmont to make it 15-9. Oh, now with a serve, tipped at the net. And then a spike from the back by Ryder. Now spiked over, that's dug out and back. And bumped set almost by 2 players, bumped over too far. And it's 16-9. And the Braves rolling here in the first set. Hermson's Ace Hardware and Home Center in Bloomington, and Hermson's Ace Hardware at the bottom of Main and Platteville. See Hermson's for the perfect paint for your next project. Hermson's Ace Hardware, Bloomington, and Platteville. And spiked by Ryder, that's dug out, and that. Check that was not Ryder, that was Lexi Rickers. Is able to get the kill there to make it 17-9. And Belmont with a serve that goes too far to make it 17-10. And Potosi, and again, the Chieftains with hard-to-read uniforms. The numbers, I had thought, I think these are new, actually. And as it's set over, a high bump and a double hit. So Potosi gets the point there to make it 17-11. I could have sworn that the current National Federation of High Schools regulations require clearly contrasting numbers, but that doesn't apparently always be the case. Spike from the left side by Jenkins. That's dug out. And then a miss hit in the back row. And it's 17-12. And the Chieftains now have cut the deficit to 5. Russell Law Offices here to assist as your local legal representation. Call for a consultation to discuss personal injury, estate planning, family law, criminal defense, probate administration, and more. Proudly serving Southern Wisconsin Russell Law Offices. Bump set at the net. And then set over, Potosi should be able to handle this. Spike on the right, or set on the right side, but that ends up going out of bounds, and so suddenly it's 17-13. As Potosi now within 4. Rendy Plumbing and Heating in Belmont for your agricultural, commercial, and residential needs. Call Rendy Plumbing and Heating in Belmont. Meanwhile, a point for Belmont. Try that to make it 18-13. Braves now to serve. Running jump serve from the middle with a high arc. And quickly sent over by the Chieftains. And up in the front middle, and that cost Belmont. They were not ready for it. It's 18-14. Here is Dressler now for Potosi. She is the libero wearing the white jersey in contrast to her teammates. Spike from the left side, but into the net by Schmeltz, and it's 18-15. And again, the serve by Dressler. That's dug out, kind of an awkward bump set, but they're able to get it over. Now the set at the night, one hand, and double hit called on Belmont. And it's 18-16. Braves lead down to 2 here in set number 1. And again, Ryder's serve. Quick send over by Rickers. And now that ends up going over at a point for the Chieftains to make it for the Braves to make it 19-16. A little bit confused by my tribal nicknames, I guess. Here's this a diving bump set and then set over from the back row, but too far. And the Chieftains now up 20-16. The Braves, just as I said that, the Braves up 20-16 with Ryder serving. And that ends up going out. And now the Chieftains up 21-6. The Braves up 21-16. And Potosi calls timeout.
Maybe I should. 4.
If you're upgrading a home or business, call the trusted pros at Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors. They offer a premium selection of CHI overhead doors combining style, durability, and security for both residential and commercial properties. Need rain gutters to protect your building from water damage? Carey's has you covered there too. Learn more at Carey'sGuttersandDoors.com. They sell the best and service the rest. Get the quality you deserve at Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors, Belmont, and Prairie du Chien.
It's harvest time, and Scenic Rivers Energy Co-op reminds you to be safe on the farm with this helpful tip. Always lower portable augers or elevators to their lowest level before moving or transporting. Use care when raising them, too. This safety tip from Scenic Rivers Energy Co-op.
In Game 4.
21-16 after Potosi got within 2 points. Belmont now up 5, and the Chieftains called their second timeout. But we'll get the serve back because the serve ends up going too far to make it 21-17. Potosi had a 5-1 lead at one point, but Belmont is, once they got the lead, they've been in charge basically since. Here's a spike from the left side. That's dug out. Now Potosi sends it back over. High bump set. Tip over on the left side. And that'll be a point for Belmont. I think it was Jenkins, and it is 22-17. And now Ryder to serve. High, and then a bad hit that ends up going out of bounds. That makes it 23-17. Ryder again serving for Belmont, but that serve goes out. 23-18. And now Potosi, I think that's Lillian Cooley serving. Again, the numbers from up here are kind of difficult to see. Back set, left side spike, and that goes down for a point. Carson Raymaker gets the kill to make it 24-18. And Belmont now with set point in set number 1. Line drive. Left side spike, that is dug out. Bump set right in front of the Belmont bench and then sent over by Spangler. And a left side tip for Potosi, that's dug out. Bump set from the back by Ryder and then sent over in a bad hit in front by Raymaker, a double hit. That makes it 24-19. Potosi will serve, but it is still set point for Belmont here in set number 1. Boy, look at how dark it got outside already. We're up in the second floor here in Belmont. It's a great vantage point. And that ends up going out, actually. And so a point for Belmont, or for Potosi, to make it 24-20 against still set point. And the running jump serve, high bump. Bump set. And sent over for the kill by Raymaker to end set number 1. And our finalist set number 1, Belmont 25, Potosi 20. We'll be back after this on 97.7 Country WGLR.
In Game 5.
Ready, set, tailgate. The 97.7 Country WGLR tailgate party is Thursday, September 4th at Southwest Opportunity Center in Lancaster. Huddle up for delicious brats, deep-fried cheese curds, and soda for just $8 with serving from 10:30 to 1 or until sold out. Thank you to The Butcher Shop, Bill Doan of Bill's Body Shop, Ma's Bakery, and Allegiant Oil. Grab your game gear or come as you are to the 97.7 Country WGLR tailgate party Thursday, September 4th, and support Southwest Opportunity Center.
Hi, this is Steve Schmidt, owner of the Shoebox in downtown Black Earth. We have thousands of pairs of shoes in stock, no waiting. So stop in anytime, specializing in size, selection, and fit. We will save you money. P.S. We measure both feet. Stop into the Shoebox, the largest shoe store at the north end of Black Earth.
In Game 5.
Set number 1 goes to Belmont, 25-20 over Potosi. In this Six Rivers West matchup, set number 2 after these messages on 97.7 Country WGLR.
In Game 6.
Show your school spirit with every swipe. People's State Bank offers debit cards featuring your local school's mascot. And now through September 30th, you can upgrade for 50% off. Even better, $5 from your card fee goes right back to your school. It's an easy way to support your team and look good doing it. Visit any People's State Bank location to upgrade your debit card today. Iowa sales tax may apply to fees and service charges. People's State Bank, member FDIC.
Catch Andrew's Egg Service coverage of Wisconsin football on 97.7 WGLR and Wisconsin basketball on AM 1590 WPVL. Presented by Digman Construction. Queen Bee Radio is your home for Badger sports.
In Game 6.
Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school volleyball, Tuesday night volleyball, presented by Cuba City, Kieler, and Darlington Family Dental, and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors on 97.7 Country WGLR and on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel, presented by Laley Center Monroe at H&N Plumbing, Heating, and Electrical. Belmont won set number 1 after being down 5-1. They came back to win 25-20. So the Braves with a lead in trying to get their first match win of the season after losing to River Ridge last Thursday and then getting beat in the 2 sets or the 2 matches that they had in the Six Rivers Invitational, whereas Potosi swept through the Six Rivers Invitational, as you heard on the Raleigh Cheese pre-match show. Our match brought to you by McNett Electric in Belmont. They can assist you with all your electrical needs. Chip and his crew at McNett Electric are on call array to help you with your agricultural, business, and commercial needs. McNett Electric in Belmont. And Breckler Insurance Group for all your insurance needs. See Steve Lindusky at Breckler Insurance in Fenimore. Breckler Insurance serving Southwest Wisconsin for over 95 years. We're also brought to you by TriStar Pallets in Highland and TriStar Mulch, Cobb and Platteville. Beautify your home with decorative colored mulch. Give Jim Drury and the gang a call at TriStar Pallets of Highland and TriStar Mulch, Cobb and Platteville. Carver's Hardwood Flooring for hardwood flooring, stair insulation, or refinishing needs. Contact Ryan Carver, the only National Wood Flooring Association certified installer, sander, and finisher in the tri-state area. Carver's Hardwood Flooring in Benton. Addie McNett will serve first and ends up serving out of bounds, so it's 1-0 Potosi. By the way, you may be wondering why you have not heard a Shoebox scoreboard update about the Brewers, and you think to yourself, well, they're playing tonight, aren't they? Well, you would be mistaken, because as it turns out, they have a day off, and kind of weird to have a day off on a Tuesday, but that is how it works. Tomorrow and Thursday, they'll be on 97.7 on AM 1590 WPVL. Meanwhile, a Carey called, and Belmont now with a 2-0 lead. Belmont now on the left side. And Potosi on the right side as you watch on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. That is tipped at the net. And a bump set. And then sent over by Rickers. Now quickly sent back over by the Chieftains. And then right back by the Braves. Sent into the corner. Bump set by Ray, and then Raymaker sends it into the net to make it 2-1. Krantz Auto Parts and Krantz Hardware do it best. See Rob Krantz and the crew for full service repair of cars and light trucks too. Krantz Auto Parts and Krantz Hardware do it best in Fenimore. Chieftains now to serve, and they get a point with Emily Schaefer serving to make it a 2-2 tie in set number 2. Serve dug out by Ryder and then sent over by Schmeltz, and that will be a point for the Chieftains, who go up 3-2. There's a serve line drive serve. Dug out, bump set from the back by Ryder, and then set over by the Braves. Now the set spike from the middle, and that goes down. And that was Lily Cooley. Lily Cooley getting the kill there, and it's 4-2 Potosi. And again, serving Schaefer. Left side spike, and that manages to get over, and it'll be a kill for Schmeltz. And it's 4-3. And Belmont now serving with Jenkins. And that ends up going out for a point as it's tipped out of bounds. And so we're tied at 4 in set number 2. We're on 97.7 Country WGLR Lancaster and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Thanks for joining us on edition number 2 of Tuesday Night Volleyball this year. Bump set and then sent over, and a point for the Chieftains on a double hit by the Braves, and it's 5-4 Potosi. Sloan Implement, your official John Deere dealer in Bloomington, Cuba City, Montfort, and at sloans.com, bringing you Tuesday Night Volleyball. Potosi now serving. And now on the left side, that's spiked over, and down it goes. And a kill for Raymaker, and we're tied at 5. As you know, Raymaker was one of the players on the Belmont softball team who was, well, I guess you could say they had about as, they didn't have about as season, great season as possible. They did. They won the state championship. Meanwhile, point for Belmont to make it 6-5. And the Chieftains, or the Braves, get a point to make it 7-5. Now it's set over, dug out and back, and a bad bump into the Potosi bench. And just like that, 8-5 is now Belmont's lead. We're brought to you by Bouse Electric. Call Brad Adrian and Josh Busher at Bouse Electric, Lancaster, and Fenimore. Line drive serve. Dug out, set over by the Chieftains, and that ends up finding the corner. And it ends up being a kill for Manhattan Udelhoven, who is, as we said before, the sister of Coach Justice Udelhoven. There's a send over by the Braves. That's dug out, spike, and that ends up being a kill for Lily Cooley, and it's 8-7. Chieftains within 1 here in set number 2. We're brought to you by People's State Bank for personal home business and ag loans. Visit one of their convenient area locations or visit peoplesfinancial.com. Member FDIC. Tipped at the net, and then a bump set. Belmont sends it over, and that's a point out of Carey on Belmont, or on Potosi. So instead of Potosi tying it, it's 9-7. And Belmont brings in Brittany Taylor to serve. That's dug out in the opposite quarter. Set, spike down the middle, and kill for the Chieftains to make it 9-8. Gary's Pest Control in Dickeyville. Gary's Pest Control salutes our local athletes. Gary's Pest Control, over 40 years of professional, friendly service. Potosi now serving. Belmont won set number 1, 25-20. Braves send it over. That's dug out and a bump into the net on the third hit, and it's 10-8. We're playing kind of side-out ball here. And Raymaker to serve for the Braves. Into the near corner in the back. Spike again into the net. And it's 11-8 Belmont in set number 2 with a 1-0 set lead. Raymaker again serves. That's dug out. Back set. Spike and end up well placed, and Potosi with the point to make it 11-9. You know, one thing that I find kind of interesting about volleyball is that volleyball is kind of the least changed girls sport around in this area. There's a quick send over and then dug out. Bump set and back. Spike from the left side. Potosi handles that. Quick set and then a long hit into the back row. Bump set. Spike and down that goes. And it's 12-9. And Belmont now up. Belmont now up 3 points in set number 2. Reagan Spangler Raymaker again to serve. Spike for the left side, dug out all the way back to the Potosi side. Left side spike, and that one goes too far, and it's 13-9 Potosi, 13-9 Belmont here in set number 2, and you have to think that a timeout might be imminent here. Raymaker again to serve at a bump that will go straight up, and then set over on 3 bumps. Now the Braves spike on the left side. That, however, goes too far by Alexi Rickers to make it 13-10. Now Kylie Dressler serving for Potosi. And the running jump serve at a almost errant hit there. They're able to get it back over with Raymaker. Left side gentle spike, but it counts as a kill regardless. And that was, I believe, Elena Kirchhoff. And that's 13-11. Chieftains within 2. Set, tip at the net, and that finds the floor. Just inside. Addie McNett, who now will go over and serve, as it's 14-11. And McNett, they're back to the top of the rotation now. And a big spike, but that got blocked. Potosi will try again. They send it right into the corner, and it finds the corner for a kill. And that makes it 14-12. And Potosi now serving with Nebergall. And then they're able to get it down, and it's 15-12. And back and forth we go. Lexi Rickers serves, but right into the net to make it 15-13. We're brought to you by Mountain City Bank. Their total line of credit allows you to use the equity in your home to do the things you want. Stop in Mount City Bank to apply. Offer subject to approval. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender. Learn more at mountcitybank.com. Potosi gets the point there, and now it's 15-14. And the Chieftains down a set. Can tie set number 2 if they can get a point here. But, wow, it ends up going over the net. And that drops in, and suddenly we are tied at 15. Bounce it off the net, and that is exactly what they wanted to do. Cooley again to serve. Set over from the backside, tipped. And then a one-hand bump attempt ends up going out of bounds, and the Braves get the lead back, 16-15. And now Emily Ryder serves for the Braves. And then ends up going out of bounds. But off one of the back row players for the Chieftains to make it 17-15. Left side hit by the Chieftains. That's dug out. Set almost into the back row and then sent over on a spike from the back row. Bump set and then set over on 3 bumps by the Chieftains. There's a set by McNett, spike, and that goes too far from the left side. And we are tied at 17 again in set number 2. Potosi trying to even this at a set each. Here is Kirchhoff serving. High running jump serve, that's dug out. McNett sends it over. And there's a tip of the net and then back out. And Potosi, or Belmont now with it. Left side tip into the corner. Dug out. Chieftain spike off the net. Bumped. Bump set by Ryder and then set over by the Braves. Potosi back the other way. Set over from the right side. Set over on the second hit by McNett for Belmont. Now a left side spike. High bump. Diving attempt at it. Second bump. Third bump, and that is not going to make the net. And Potosi takes the lead, 18-17. And actually, apparently, it's still tied at 17. I guess they changed the scoreboard faster than I could notice it, and that's because I wrote down a previous wrong score. Now it's 18-17, as the Chieftains have scored 4 points in a row, and that forces a Belmont timeout, their first of the match. 18-17, Potosi over Belmont in set number 2. We're brought to you by Fritz's Burner Service in Darlington. Contact Fritz's Burner Service, your best choice for all heating and cooling needs in Darlington and the surrounding area. Check them out at fritzsburnerservice.com. Community First Bank for you in the communities where you live, work, and play. Experience for yourself the difference at Community First Bank, cfbank.com, member FDIC. Laley Center Monroe. Call your local dairy automation specialist, Jordan Wilson, at Laley Center Monroe. Anderson Weber Toyota Dubuque powering our audio stream. Anderson Weber Toyota Dubuque when you are ready. And we're brought to you by Herms's Ace Hardware and Home Center in Bloomington and Herms's Ace Hardware at the bottom of Main and Platteville. See Herms's for the perfect paint for your next project. Herms's Ace Hardware, Bloomington and Platteville. First time out called by Belmont. They were down 5-1 in set number 1. Came back to win 25-20. Really were in charge the whole way. And now they end up, Well, what is this? They just whistled over to give the ball to Belmont at a penalty point on Potosi. And suddenly we're tied at 18. Maybe that was because of serving before the referee said you could, and that ends up costing them another point as Spangler gets the tip kill. And it's 19-18 Belmont. This could be a tri-court turning point right here. Here's a left side spike that goes way out of bounds, and it's 20-18. Claire Bank, with their 8 convenient locations in Southwest Wisconsin, proud to support our community events. Claire Bank, where they say we can do that. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. And it feels as though Potosi might be calling a timeout next here. 20-18 Belmont. Here's a spike, but maybe not, because the spike ends up going out. And so it is 20-19. And Potosi now to serve. And the running jump serve, a line drive, that's dug out. Quick set, sent over by Raymaker, that's dug out. Set, right side spike. Kind of not quite ready for it bump, but they are able to get it over. And now the set from the back row, almost out, but saved. And at the left side of spike, that's blocked from Raymaker and ends up going down. And now we are at 20-20 here in set number 2. With Belmont again with a 1-0 lead in sets. Set over, but into the net. And suddenly Potosi up 21-20. And they seem to have weathered their penalty point. They managed to get the momentum back. Spiked by Sedbrook in the back row. That's dug out. And tipped over. Comes back. Spiked. And that ends up going down for a kill. And it's 22-20. And now Belmont is going to call timeout. It is 22-20 22-20 Potosi. And we're brought to you by Russell Law Offices, here to assist as your local legal representation. Call for a consultation to discuss personal injury, estate planning, family law, criminal defense, probate administration, and more. Proudly serving Southern Wisconsin, Russell Law Offices. Also, Brian's Auto Body and Paint Specialist. The pros at Brian's get the job done right. For unexpected dings or major repair projects, head to Brian's Auto Body and Paint in Lancaster. In a moment, we will have our McNett Electric halftime. McNett Electric of Belmont can assist you with all your electrical needs. Chip and his crew at McNett Electric are on call. They're ready to help you with all your agricultural, business, and commercial needs. McNett Electric in Belmont. 22-20 Potosi in set number 2. Reach over. Now the Braves with it. They send it into the back row. And then the set, and then set over by Cooley. Bump set in the back row. Spiked over from the left side. Bump set by the Chieftains, and then set over again by Cooley. That's dug out. And bad bump there, and the Braves try to send it over, and knowing it was the third hit. And it is 23-20. As Potosi 2 points away, and there's an ace to make it 24-20. And now it is set point to try to tie this match at 1 set each. And a great run here by the Chieftains. High arc, bump into the back row, bump set, and then set over, but into the net. And that is it for set number 2, as Belmont won set number 1, 25-20. But Potosi wins set number 2, 25-20. We're tied at a game at 1 set each. And we're back after this on 97.7 Country WGLR.
In Game 7.
From small-town businesses to large multi-state operations, Tricor Insurance and Auto Owners Insurance have industry expertise that can cover all types of businesses.
Having an insurance agency that understands our business is a real benefit. They know our people. It's something Tricor does really well.
Tricor's in-depth knowledge of insurance, regulation, compliance, and safety consulting is here to help your business succeed. Working with leading insurance companies like Auto Owners Insurance. They'll be there when you need them most. Visit TricorInsurance.com to learn more about Tricor Insurance Cycle of Care.
Our Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school sports on Queen Bee Radio is presented by Cuba City, Kieler, and Darlington Family Dental, and by Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors. Check out our upcoming schedule at AM1590WPVL.com.
In Game 7.
I'm going to turn the mic on. We're tied at a set each. Belmont won set number 1, 25-20. And Potosi won set number 2, 25-20. McNett Electric halftime report after these messages on 97.7 Country WGLR.
In game 8.
Hello, Mitch here from Kieler Family Dental. There's never been a better time to explore what's possible for you and your family at our 3 state-of-the-art facilities. From routine dental care to same-day crowns to clear aligners, veneers, and implants, we cover a wide spectrum of dental services. Call our team and experience patient-centered care for you and your family at Cuba City, Darlington, and Kieler Family Dental. Ask about our new patient specials. Keep smiling, Tri-States.
Our Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school sports on Queen Bee Radio is presented by Cuba City, Kieler, and Darlington Family Dental, and by Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors. Check out our upcoming schedule at am1590wpvl.com.
In game 8.
Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of Tuesday Night Volleyball presented by Cuba City, Kieler, and Darlington Family Dental and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors. 97.7 Country WGLR and on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel, presented by H&M Plumbing, Heating, and Electrical and Lely Center Monroe. Time for the McNett Electric halftime report. For all your electrical needs, call McNett Electric in Belmont. They've been kind of the same set. They're kind of the same set, but in different directions. Belmont was down in set number 1, but came back to win 25-20. Potosi was down in set number 2, but came back to win 25-20. And there's a spike into the net, so set number 3 were even at 1 set each. And a point for Belmont to make it 1-0. Now a spike into the net, and that manages to come down. And I think that was Lexi Rickers who got the pretty thunderous spike there to make it 2-0 Braves. The serve now by McDeff for the 3rd time. That is sent over way too far, however, and it's 3-0 Belmont. McNett again to serve. Dugout. It's tipped over, and Belmont tried to save it, but it ends up hitting the floor, so that makes it 3-1. And Potosi begins their serve with Addie Nebergall. And they have changed it. That is not Nebergall, that is Kylie Dressler. Spike into the back, but it hits the basket and goes down. And so it's 4-1. The basket is a faster part of the ceiling, of course. One hand send over. Belmont handles that. Spike from the left side. And too far by Raymaker, and it's 4-2. Potosi now will serve. And a lunging bump into the back. Set over by Schmeltz, and that goes too far, and it's 4-3. There's a spike and a bad bump in the back. Another bump. Belmont's able to get it over, however. And now the back set by Dressler and set in off the net and down, and we're tied at 4 in set number 3. As we're tied a set each. And now the serve by Schaefer. And that ends up being a point as it hits the floor, and a point for the Chieftains, who now go up 5-4. They were down 3-0, but they have scored 4 out of 5 points here. Bumped and set over on a bump. Chieftains handle that. Set by Cooley. Tip from the left side. Cherkoff on the set. Back it goes to the Chieftains. There's the set. Spike. And that goes down. And the kill makes it 6-4. And Schaefer again to serve. Lunging bump. Set. Right side spike. That's dug out. Bump set. And then tip over. Belmont now with it. Spike from the right side and too far from one quarter to the other. And suddenly it's 7-4 Potosi here in set number 3. That's dug out. Back set. Raymaker sends it over for Belmont. Back the other way. Spike, but into the net. And that ends the run. That makes it 7-5. And a serve, however, that goes right into the net. And it is 8-5. And Lily Cooley serves for the Chieftains. That's high bump. Set in the backside by Dressler. Now Belmont with it. Spike from the left side, and that goes down for Raymaker to make it 8-6. And Belmont now brings in Brittany Taylor to serve. And she'll set up right in the middle. And a point for Potosi to make it 9-6. And the running jump served by Kirchhoff. And a spike back over. Now a spike from the middle, and that's blocked. Potosi sends it back over, however. Now the bump set and a spike by Raymaker. Potosi now bump sets over. Now a spike from the middle, and that goes out of bounds, and it is 10-6. Potosi in front. Running jump serve, that's dug out. The bump set, almost two players colliding. Belmont sends it over on a bump. Now left side spike back to Belmont. Spike from the left side by Raymaker, and that's off one of the back row players and down. And point for the Braves to make it 10-7. And it looks like Raymaker now to serve. High arcing serve into the back row. The bump set and then sent over. Set on the left side and then set over by Lexi Rickers, who gets a soft kill. They count the same, and it's 10-8. And Raymaker again to serve. Rundy Plumbing and Heating in Belmont for all your agricultural business and residential needs, commercial residential needs. Call Rundy Plumbing and Heating in Belmont. Braves get the point there to make it 10-9. Into the back row. That's set, spike, and actually set over on a pass. And down that goes, and it's 11-9. So that gets to be the set kill. Chieftains up 2 in a 1-1 tied set. Running jump serve. Ends up going out of bounds. And it's 11-10. And Belmont now gets the serve. Bump to the back. Set. Spiked into the corner. That's dug out. And then set over by the Braves. The set, spike, and down that goes. And that was Lily Cooley getting the kill to make it 12-10. And Potosi now to serve. Dug out and back. Back set. Tipped over by the Braves. That's dug out. And then set over by the Chieftains. Back set. And a spike by Ryder, but into the net. And that makes it 13-10. Potosi again to serve. Dug out and back, and a bump set right in front of the bench, and then sent over, and that ends up going out of bounds. And by the Braves, and so another point makes it 14-10 Potosi in this 1-1 tie. We're in set number 3. The set on the left side, spike from the left side, that goes down. And Belmont is going to call a timeout after Lily Cooley's kill makes it 10. That makes it 15-10. We'll be back after this in set number 3 on 97.7 Country WGLR.
In game 9.
Hi, this is Christine Raleigh of Raleigh Cheese, wishing all area athletes successful seasons. Cheese is a great source of protein for school lunches or a snack before the big game. Stop in and try some of our award-winning artisan cheeses like Dunbarton Blue, Red Rock, and Little Mountain. We have fresh cheese curds weekly and a wide variety of snacks and beverages, plus made-to-order cheese trays. Shop locally and taste the difference of handmade Wisconsin cheese at Raleigh Cheese House on the corner of Highways 11 and 23, Shellsburg.
It's harvest time, and Scenic Rivers Energy Co-op reminds you to be safe on the farm with this helpful tip. Be aware of increased height when loading and transporting larger modern tractors with higher antennas. This safety tip from Scenic Rivers Energy Co-op.
In game 9.
15-10 Potosi in a 1-1 tie. We're in set number 3, obviously, and the Chieftains get another point right off the serve to make it 16-10. And they're starting to head to the home stretch of going up 2-1. There's a spike from the left side. That's dug out. Set. Left side spike. High bump. Bump into the back row and down in the back row, and it's 17-10 Potosi. Belmont won set number 1, 25-20. Potosi won set number 2, 25-20. Now they're leading 17-10 here in set number 3. Back row spike by Raymaker. That's dug out. Back the other way. Big spike by Cooley. That's dug out. In front of the seats, a bump, and then Belmont sends it over. Again, a spike. That ends up going too far and out, and it's 17-11. Belmont will serve once they get the volleyball. I think Taylor in to serve again. And that ends up as a point for the Braves to cut the... No correction, they just changed their mind. It's a point for Potosi. And suddenly it's 18-11. And it is Dressler to serve, and a bad bump in the back row and ends up in the seats, and it's 19-11. And we're brought to you by Breckler Insurance Group. For all your insurance needs, see Steve Landusky at Breckler Insurance in Fenimore. Breckler Insurance serving Southwest Wisconsin for over 95 years. There's a spike from the left side. That's dug out. At a set left side spike for Potosi. Tipped at the net. Dug out and then set over by Rickers. And Rickers is able to get the tip kill. Or the, I guess what, change-up spike maybe? Change-up kill. And that makes it 19-12. Belmont now to serve. Tipped over right away. And then set back. Now Potosi with it. Quick set, spike. That's dug out into the Potosi side. They'll try it again here. Set over from the corner. Now back in the other corner. Here's a spike on the left side by Raymaker. That is up high. And then spiked over by Cooley. The set, left side spike by Raymaker. That's dug out. Up there, then quickly set over. Belmont now with it over at the left side. They'll pass it over. Now the left side, one hand blocked at the net. And the point is Schmeltz gets the block kill. And that makes it 19-13. Braves have a ways to go, however. When you're down 6. Big spike on the left side by Cooley. That's dug out. And then sent back over by Raymaker. Big set in the middle, and it finds the corner. On the near side, it's 20-13 Potosi. Yeah, the Chieftains out 5 points away from taking a 2-1 lead. Pause here for some reason, not quite sure what. So we'll tell you that today's game brought to you by Mountain City Bank. Their total line of credit allows you to use the equity in your home to do the things you want. Stop in at Mountain City Bank to apply. Offer subject to approval, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender. Learn more at mountcitybank.com. Not quite sure what the delay is about here, but and there's still a delay. Must be an issue perhaps with a lineup out there, possibly. Well, while they figure it out, we're brought to you by Fritz's Burner Service in Darlington. Contact Fritz's Burner Service, your best choice for all heating and cooling needs in Darlington and the surrounding area. Check them out at fritzsburnerservice.com. And we're brought to you by Community First Bank. For you in the communities where you live, work, and play, experience for yourself the difference at Community First Bank, cfbank.com, member FDIC. And Lely Center Monroe. Call your local dairy automation specialist, Jordan Wilson, at Lely Center Monroe. Now, they made a substitution. Potosi did. And now we're ready to go. Belmont sends it over. And that ends up being a kill for the Chieftains on a tip. And it is 21-13. Potosi up in set number 3. Line drive serve. That's dug out and then set over by Schmeltz. But it ends up going into the net, and it's 22-13. And another decent run here for the Chieftains. That is, put them on the cusp of winning this third set. Line drive serve, dug out, and then set over by Ryder. Now the Chieftains with it. Spiked by Cooley, tipped into the net. And that's going to be a point, however, at a carry call on Belmont. And that makes it 23-13. And then Potosi sends it over. Set from the back, spiked by Raymaker, but into the net. And it is 24-13, and set point. And now Potosi with it. They're able to send it over. Now Belmont trying to avert. And that's a block at the net, and a bad hit, and a pretty spectacular set point. And Potosi wins set number 3, 25-13. and takes a 2-1 lead in this match. We'll be back after this on 97.7 Country WGLR.
In game 10.
Trade out and trade up with the Gia Milking Performance promotion at Fuller's Milker Center. For a limited time, trade out your old milking units and liners and immediately benefit by trading up to a better milking performance at substantial savings. Choose from the Gia IQ milking unit or the classic 300E milking unit, both available with a GQ liner package. Plus, save if you need to swap Jetter cups too. Contact Fuller's Milker Center, LLC, your Gia dealer in Lancaster and Richland Center to find out how you can save big trading out and trading up on new Gia milking equipment technology.
Our Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school sports on Queen Bee Radio is presented by Cuba City, Kieler, and Darlington Family Dental, and by Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors. Check out our upcoming schedule at am1590wpvl.com.
In game 10.
Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of Tuesday Night Volleyball presented by Cuba City, Kieler, and Darlington Family Dental, and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel, presented by H&M Plumbing, Heating, and Electrical and Laley Center Monroe. Check out our live and archived H&M Plumbing, Heating, and Electrical and Laley Center Monroe video coverage on our Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Coming up Friday, more high school football because it's week 3, and that means conference openers. Richland Center at Lancaster, 97.7 Country WGLR, Platteville at Prairie du Chien on X1071, and Belleville and Cuba City on Super Hits 106. All of them starting shortly after 6:30. Badger football on Saturday, hosting Middle Tennessee. They used to be known as Middle Tennessee State, but I think that's not the case anymore. At any rate, I think it's the Raiders is what they're called. At any rate, it will be at 1 o'clock on Saturday on 97.7 Country WGLR. And then Sunday, the Packers regular season opener with Micah Parsons. Whether or not his back is a problem, he's playing, I guarantee it. 1 o'clock on Sunday on 97.7 Country WGLR. We will be back with more Tuesday Night Volleyball next Tuesday. Schulzburg and Belmont right back here. About a 7 o'clock start on 97.7 Country WGLR. Almost ready to go here for set number 4. And now we're ready to go. And it will be Potosi to serve, and a serve that ends up going out of bounds. And so it's 1-0 Belmont, and Addie McNett will serve for the Braves. I was saying before, here's the Reading jump serve, by the way. Dug out. And then the set, the left side spike, and that ends up going down for the kill, and that was a big kill there by Elena Kirchhoff. We're tied at 1. And Potosi with a serve. That's dug out by Ryder. Spike for the left side, and that ends up going into the net, and it's 2-1 Potosi in front. I was saying before events kind of got caught up, that high school volleyball, at least in our area, is kind of the least changed of all the girls' sports. There obviously have been, as that ends up going into the net, and we're tied at 2. There obviously have been major rules changes. We've talked about those before, rally scoring, 5 sets, and so on. And getting rid of the invitational, essentially the tournament format for the postseason, is there's a hit that goes out of bounds, 3-2. But one thing that is different between, at least in the Six Rivers, is that there are no co-op teams in volleyball. Every school, including the really small ones like Cassville and Judah, that ends up going down for a point to tie it at 3 in set number 4, with Potosi leading 2-1. Every school is able to field at least a varsity volleyball team. There are no co-op teams at all. So you don't have to figure out Potosi, Cassville, or Pecatonica, Argyle, or Monticello, Albany, or whoever in volleyball as opposed to girls basketball and in softball also. That ends up hitting the floor, and the Braves get a kill to make it 4-3. Braves trailing 2-1, so they need to win this, obviously, to force a fifth set, and the serve goes out of bounds, and it's tied at 4 in set number 4. And Potosi now to serve, the running jump serve, dug out by Dressler, set, and then set over. Back the other way now, spike from the middle, and that ends up going down. I think that was Manhattan Udenhoven getting the kill there. And so it's 5-4. That's set over by the Braves, right at the net on the bump, and then trying to play it off the net. Ends up with 4 hits. And a point for Belmont, and it's 5-5 in set number 4. Chieftains, well, the Braves won set number 1, 25-20. Chieftains have won the next 2, 25-20 and 25-13. Spike for the back row, that's dug out. And the set by McNett, left side spike. Potosi digs that out. Spike by Cooley, that's dug out. Bump set, and in the back row, it's Ryder sending it over, tipped at the net, tipped back over by Potosi. The set by McNett, and a reach over in the middle. 2 bump sets, and the third gets over. Belmont sets it up. McNett with a set, spike. That's blocked at the net. And a point for Potosi to make it 6-5 Chieftains. As Potosi, which is 4-0, as we mentioned, they swept the Six Rivers Invitational at Monticello, and they'd love to maintain undefeated. And however, McNett is able to get the kill there after it's hit to the back row. We're tied at 6. And Raymaker now will serve for the Braves. And a lunging bump attempt after a bad bump, but it hits the floor, and Belmont now up 7-6 in set number 4. Uh-oh, I need to fix something here. Hang on just 1 second. Okay. I apologize for those watching on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Picture was frozen for some amount of time, and meanwhile, during that, Potosi scored, so we're tied at 7. But now we've got it fixed. Belmont spike for the left side. That finds the floor. And that's Rickers getting the kill, and it's 8-7 Belmont. And the Braves out serving. They conversely are trying to get their first point of the year. Spangler with a serve, but it goes into the net. And we're tied at 8. Let me try that again. They're trying to get their first match win of the year after their loss to River Ridge last Thursday, and then going 0-2 at their version of the Six Rivers Invitational in Highland. Left side spike, tipped over, and that is a carry on Belmont. Point for Potosi, and it's 9-8 Chieftains. As we mentioned last year, Highland won the regular season, or won the Six Rivers title, with Belmont tying for second with Shullsburg. Braves they won the regional and got beat by Six Rivers East champ Barneveld in the sectional semifinal. There's a ball that hangs on the net and is tipped over, at a point for Belmont, and now we're tied at 9 in set number 4. And McNett to serve. Dug out and over to the Belmont side. Tipped at the net. Potosi saves that, sends it right back over. It's set, and then set over by Raymaker into the back row. Potosi down, spike from the middle, and down that goes. And Cooley with the kill. And it's 10-9 Potosi. And the serve. And an errant bump that is caught by the referee on the tower. He can't play the ball. We're tied at 10. And meanwhile, the hit ends up going out of bounds, and Belmont gets a point there to make it 11-10. Braves in front. And Emily Ryder sends it over. And that ends up going too far. We're tied at 11. Potosi now to serve. And the running jump serve by Cooley. Dug out. Set by McNett. Spike from the left side. Dug out in the back row. The set spike from the left side. Dug out and ends up going out of bounds. And the Chieftains with a 12-11 lead in set number 4. And now time is called by one of the side judges. It looks like I'm going to talk to someone in the corner. And while that happens, we'll tell you we're brought to you by Mountain City Bank. Their total line of credit allows you to use the equity in your home to do the things you want. Stop at a Mountain City Bank to apply. Offer subject to approval. Member FDIC, to Equal Housing Lender. Learn more at MountainCityBank.com. Do not know what that was about. But Potosi leads 12-11 and serves. Bump set, spike from the left side. Aaron, high bump, and it goes out of bounds. And we're tied at 12. Starting to feel like this is going to be the Tricor turning point, which, of course, we will figure out as part of the McNett Electric, or the Reeves Wealth Management at Edward Jones postgame show. And meanwhile, Belmont gets a point. And it is 13-12 Braves. Another serve. Line drive, dug out. Set at the net. Right side spike, and ends up going out of bounds. Actually, it was just a hit, not a spike. And it ends up going out of bounds. And it's 14-12. And a bad bump in back. That ends up going out of bounds, and it's 15-12. And Potosi is going to call its first time out. 15-12 Belmont in set number 4, with the Chieftains of Potosi leading 2-1. And again, coming up Friday, high school football. Richland Center in Lancaster to open in the SWC season. 97.7 Country WGLR. Platteville and Prairie du Chien to open the SWC season also. And that's on X1071. And Belleville and Cuba City to open the SWAL season. And that's on Super Hits 106. Saturday, Badger football hosting Middle Tennessee after they got, well, it wasn't a pretty win, but, you know, when you lose your starting quarterback and your defense is able to get a shutout, you're happy. Badgers and Middle Tennessee State, as there's a ball into the serve into the net to make it 15-13. And then there's an ace to make it 15-14. At any rate, Middle Tennessee and Wisconsin at 1 Saturday on 97.7 Country WGLR. There's another ace, and suddenly we're tied at 15. Whatever Justice Udelhoven said in the timeout was the right thing, apparently. We're tied at 15 now in set number 4. And Kirchhoff serve. And that's dug out and back by a bad bump. And it is 16-15. Belmont now up. And Brittany Taylor now serves for Belmont. And that is dug out. Set by McNett. Spike from the back row. Bad bumping for the Chieftains. And Belmont goes up 17-15. Trying to avert the end of the match in this set. Taylor again to serve. That's dug out. The set. Spike from the left side. Blocked at the net. Chieftains try again. Right side spike. Goes out. 18-15. And what is, I would say, the best set of the match in terms of being close for obvious reasons at this point. There's a quick send over by Belmont. And then the set spike from the middle by Udelhoven. That's dug out. Bump set. Spike from the back row by Ryder, and it hits the back line and down. 19-15. And now Belmont up 4 points. And again, this rotation with Taylor is getting the job done. Now the set. And the spike over, now set spike, but into the net. And that makes it 19-16. Potosi down 3 and now serving. That's set over. By Sedbrook, the server. Tipped at the net. Belmont handles it. McNett the set. Left side spike blocked at the net. Belmont tries again. McNett sends it. Blocked again. And that's a kill for Cooley, I believe that was. And it's 19-17. However, serve into the net. And that makes it 20-17. And that'll be Kirsten Remaker to serve. As the Braves try to force set number 5. There was a 5-set match last week, River Ridge and Lancaster. And then a whiff, not a whiff exactly, but a hit that went right into the net by the Chieftains up front. And it's 21-17. That's one of those, I'm ready, I want this, and you kind of overdo it there. Raymaker serves. Dug out. Sent over. That's dug out. The back set, and Raymaker just gently sends it over. Chieftains handle that back set. Spike, and it goes out of bounds. And it's 22-17 Belmont. As they try to force set number 5. Chieftains up 2-1. Let's see if Potosi wants to call a timeout. They have not yet. Bump set they might after this point if Belmont gets it. Left side spike by Rickers. There it is. 23-17, and indeed, timeout Potosi, their second. As the Chieftains are 2 points away from having to play set number 5 here. Next Tuesday, by the way, as we mentioned, Schulzburg and Belmont is the next edition of Tuesday Night Volleyball. About a 7 o'clock start right back here in Belmont. On 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. (23-17) Score is what we have. And so far, this is an unfortunate thing with volleyballs that scores are a little more difficult to get than for football, and I say that as the serve goes out of bounds to make it 23-18. I say that hoping that I'm proven wrong and that tomorrow we will have a full complement of volleyball scores on the news on 97.7 Country WGLR tomorrow morning. There's a bump set over. Tipped to the net, and down it goes, or does it? Yes. It actually is a carry call on Belmont, so it's 23-19. And the Chieftains would like to go home now and not have to play a fifth set. Here's a spike on the right side that's dug out, that's blocked, but goes out of bounds, and it's 24-20, or 24-19, excuse me, and set point for the Braves, and Reagan Spangler to serve. She gets it over, high bump. Set, spike from the back row. Dug out, McNett the set, spike from the left side, down it goes. And the kill by Rickers, and we are going to set number 5 after 4. After set number 4 goes to Belmont, 25-19. We are tied at 2 sets each, and we're coming back for set number 5 after these messages. Hang on a second. After these messages on 97.7 Country WGLR.
In game 11.
When you need additional time to recover and regain your strength following a hospital stay, Grant Regional Health Center's Swing Bed program can be the help you need. Our dedicated team provides individualized skilled nursing care, physical and occupational therapy, in addition to support from respiratory, pharmacy, nutrition, and social services. Together, we can shorten the distance between healing and home. Grant Regional Health Center. Better health starts here.
Catch Andrew's Egg Service coverage of Wisconsin football on 97.7 WGLR and Wisconsin basketball on AM 1590 WPBL. Presented by Digman Construction. Queen Bee Radio is your home for Badger sports.
In game 11.
We are tied at 4. Tied after 4 sets, tied at 2 sets each. Potosi and Belmont had headed to set number 5 after these messages on 97.7 Country WGLR.
In game 12.
Show your school spirit with every swipe. People's State Bank offers debit cards featuring your local school's mascot. And now through September 30th, you can upgrade for 50% off. Even better, $5 from your card fee goes right back to your school. It's an easy way to support your team and look good doing it. Visit any People's State Bank location to upgrade your debit card today. Iowa sales tax may apply to fees and service charges. People's State Bank. Member FDIC.
In game 12.
Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of Tuesday Night Volleyball presented by Cuba City, Kieler, and Darlington Family Dental. And Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors on 97.7 Country WGLR and on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel presented by H&M Plumbing, Heating, and Electrical and Laley Center Monroe. We go to the 5th set. Belmont won the first set, 25-20. Potosi won sets 2 and 3, 25-20 and 25-13. And Belmont won set number 4, 25-19. So 1 set to 15. And, of course, whoever wins by 2 wins the match. Potosi hasn't lost a match yet this season. Belmont has not won a match yet this season. Now that's either going to stay the same or flip, as both teams bring in their liberos. And it will be Addie McNett to serve for Belmont. There's the set on the left side, sent over by Cooley. And the left side sent over by Rickers. That's dug out. Tipped down the middle, blocked at the net. Potosi tries again. Left side spike. That is dug out. Bump set. And then sent into the corner by the Braves. Spike down the right side. Goes out of bounds. And they called it a point for Potosi. It almost hit the side judge, and she did not make a call. But it ends up being a point for the Chieftains. And so the Chieftains now with Kylie Dressler serving. That's spiked down the middle by Raymaker. Spiked by Cooley. That's dug out and back. The set blocked at the net, and I think Cooley got the block kill there. And it's 2-0. And Dressler, no, I was right. Dressler to serve. Dug out. Set, spike from the left side. That is fielded. The set, left side spike, goes too far, and it's 2-1. Belmont now. There's the serve that's dug out. Set, right side spike, and down that goes. And I've got to guess that was Kirchhoff. Again, the uniforms, even after 4 sets, kind of hard to read for Potosi. That's dug out. Right side spike into the opposite corner and misses the corner, and it's 3-2. And Emily Ryder now serves. And I'm not quite sure what this, are they, we got substituted a player here. Or, actually, Danielle Bonin. Somebody might have, Danielle Bonin is now out on the floor, and I'm not quite sure why, but we'll tell you we're brought to you by Fritz's Burner Service in Darlington. Contact Fritz's Burner Service, your best choice for all heating and cooling needs in Darlington and the surrounding area. Check them out at fritzsburnerservice.com. Tipped at the net, and down it goes. I think that was Cooley getting the kill there. And it's 4-2. Potosi now to serve. And the set, left side spike. That is dug out. Chieftain set, sent back over. McDett quickly sends it over. Potosi handles that, however. And the left side spike, that is dug out and ends up in the Belmont bench. And it is 5-2 Potosi. As the Chieftains trying to go undefeated. Still in the conference. There's a spike for the left side, blocked at the net. Braves try it again. Raymaker sends it over, and nobody there for the Chieftains, and it's 5-3. Raymaker gets the kill. Substitution for the Chieftains, and meanwhile, Brittany Taylor checks in to serve for the Braves from the middle, and that ends up bumped back, and then it ends up being hit out of bounds by the Chieftains, and suddenly it's 5-4, and Taylor again to serve. Dug out and back. Tipped back over by Belmont, and then an errant bump, or errant spike, ends up going out of bounds, and just like that, where it was 5-2 a moment ago, now we're tied at 5. Taylor again to serve, and you can tell why they bring her in to serve. That's dug out and back on the spike. Bump set, and then set over by the Braves. It's both the rotation and her ability to get it down and play. And there's a tip kill in the middle by Reagan Spangler. And Spangler gives Belmont a 6-5 lead, and immediately timeout Potosi, their first. 6-5 Belmont in set number 5. We're brought to you by Community First Bank. For you in the communities where you live, work, and play, experience for yourself the difference at Community First Bank, cfbank.com, member FDIC. Next Tuesday against Schulzburg and Belmont back here. About a 7 o'clock start here on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Before that, Friday night, the start of the conference season in football. Richland Center at Lancaster on 97.7 Country WGLR. And Platteville at Prairie du Chien on X107.1 in the SWC. And in the Swall, Belleville at Cuba City on Super Hits 106. Cubans somewhat surprisingly 0-2, although they did not have an easy schedule, obviously. There's a spike from the left side. That's dug out. And then set back over. The set by McNett. Back row spike tipped at the net. Diving bump by the Chieftains and then sent back over. Lunging bump by the Braves, and then it gets sent over at a bump. Potosi now, spike from the left side. That is handled. Bump set, spike by Raymaker. That is dug out. Bump set, double hit almost. And another one gets hit, and down that'll be a point for Belmont. And the Braves go up 7-5. Confusion on Belmont's side there, or on Potosi's side, where it looked like two players got close to hitting the ball twice. Two players each. So the Braves go up 7-5 and then a serve into the net. And that ends that momentum, and it's 7-6. And Potosi now to serve. Running jump serve. That's dug out. And a bump in front of the Belmont net, and it just does get over. And now the Chieftains with it. Here's a spike from the right side. That's tipped at the net and then sent over by the Braves into the corner. Two lunging bumps and then sent over in another bump. That's dug out. Set by McNett. Spike by Raymaker. That's dug out. And then the Chieftains, the Braves can't handle it. And we're tied at 7. And Kirchhoff now will serve. That's sent over on a bump by the Braves. The set, spike from the left side. Dug out, head over the net. And now Potosi sends it back over. Bump set, Raymaker sends it over for Belmont. That's dug out. Bumped, left side spike, and a kill. For the Chieftains, and getting the kill there was Riley. Was that Riley Meyer or was that Kiara Hefty? I'm not sure, or Kirchhoff possibly. Anyway, I know it's Potosi, and the Chieftains go up 8-7, and now a timeout for Belmont. So each team now is called a timeout in this fifth set. Excuse me a second, I needed a drink. 8-7 Potosi in set number 5. Belmont won set number 1, 25-20. Potosi won set 2, 25-20, and set 3, 25-13. Belmont won set 4, 25-19. And so this is for all the marbles here again. Belmont finished tied for second in the Six Rivers West last year. Potosi finished fourth and lost to these Braves in the regional semifinal. There is an ace, and that makes it 9-7. Potosi in front. Kirchhoff serve. Running jump serve. Dug out. McNett quickly sends it over. Right at the net. Spike. Into the back row with a high bump. Set by McNett. Raymaker with a spike. One-hand bump. Goes out on the floor, and it's 9-8. And now it will be Raymaker to serve. Interesting, Raymaker being on that state softball championship team. Coaches always say that they really like players who have that kind of postseason experience, including even if it isn't in their sport. There's a bump into the back row, and then set over by Potosi. That's dug out. Set by McNett. Spiked by Rickers. That's blocked. They'll try it again. Rickers again. Diving bump. Hits the net. Reached over. And Belmont, or Potosi can't handle that, and we're tied at 9. Raymaker again will serve. 6 points to go for somebody. Dugout and back. Set, spike down the middle. The Braves handle that. And set over by Ryder. That's dug out. The set, spike down the middle, but out. Oh no, down it goes. Cooley gets the kill. It's 10-9 Potosi. And the Chieftains now to serve. And serving is Chloe Sedbrook. That's dug out. And then spike, but into the net. And the Chieftains go up 11-9. And Sedbrook again. Line drive into the back. Bad bump. It has to be sent over on a bump. Now the Chieftains with it. The set. Back row spike by Dressler. Dug out. One kind of a lunging hit. Heck, they'll try it again. Spike in the middle. That's dug out. And a spike, but into the net. And it's 12-9. And Belmont is going to call its last timeout of the match. Their second timeout, they only get 2, of course. The end of set as the Chieftains 3 points away from winning the match. And we will tell you all about what went on in this match. Of course, in the Reeves Wealth Management by Edward Jones postgame show. Afterwards, we'll have the MVP, Herms's Ace Hardware and Home Center MVP, and the Tricor Turning Point afterwards. Potosi, there's a double hit that I don't think was called, or at least it looked like it. Now into the back row. Belmont with a save. And set over by Rickers. Now the Chieftains with it. The set and the spike from the left side, and it is off the back row and down, and it's 13-9. Yeah, the Chieftains 2 points away from going to 5-0. Here's Sedbrook, but into the net. 13-10. By excitement here, you wouldn't know it's an early September match. Spangler serves, but too far, and now it's match point. Match point for Potosi. And here is the serve from Manhattan Udelhoven. Right side spike, diving bump for the Chieftains. One hand over, that's it. And the game winner, it is Lily Cooley with a one-hand send over. And our final score, Belmont, Potosi beats Belmont 20-25, 25-20, 25-13, 19-25, 15-10. And the Chieftains remain undefeated at 5-0. And the Braves still looking for their first win. They are 0-4. And the Reeves Wealth Management and Edward Jones postgame show after these messages on 97.7 Country WGLR.
Postgame 3 minutes.
If you're upgrading a home or business, call the trusted pros at Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors. They offer a premium selection of CHI overhead doors combining style, durability, and security for both residential and commercial properties. Need rain gutters to protect your building from water damage? Carey's has you covered there too. Learn more at Carey'sGuttersAndDoors.com. They sell the best and service the rest. Get the quality you deserve at Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors, Belmont, and Prairie du Chien.
The Gifted Hands Thrift Store in Galena offers low-cost clothing and household goods to the public. Shop local and support individuals with disabilities served by the Galena Workshop. The thrift store provides paying jobs to many individuals and is a stepping stone for some to get a job in the community. Donated items are accepted at the workshop on Southwest Street in Galena, Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. till 3 p.m., except holidays. Gifted Hands Thrift Store at the Galena Workshop is open Tuesday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturdays 9 till 1.
Does that number calling you look familiar, but you aren't sure if you know them? It could be a scam using spoofing. I'm Lancaster Police Chief Deborah Rukoff. Spoofing is a way scammers make it look like an area number, or even a number you know, is calling you. In reality, they could be hundreds or thousands of miles away. Scam calls are after one thing, your information. Prevent a crime before it happens. Keep your personal information private and hang up if you suspect it's a scam.
This public service announcement courtesy of Queen Bee Radio.
All of us have a role to play in promoting a mental health friendly workplace.
So what can I do to help?
As a CEO, I can set the tone for a supportive culture.
As a manager, I can offer assistance and accommodations.
As a coworker, I can be a source of support.
As someone with a mental health condition, I can ask for what I need to perform my best.
What can I do?
What can I do?
I can remind others that none of us are alone.
And that we all benefit from workplaces that promote good mental health.
Learn more at whatcanyoudocampaign.org.
So, what's the asking price on this house?
You'd probably be more comfortable living somewhere else.
How long is the lease? Sure, you can afford to live here, but...
How about the schools?
We have twins.
This neighborhood probably wouldn't be right for your kids.
If a real estate or rental agent says anything like this, you are being discriminated against, and it is illegal. If you experience housing discrimination, go to HUD.gov/fair housing and report it. Fair housing. The law is on your side. A message from HUD in partnership with the National Fair Housing Alliance.
I learned patience from my adoptive dad. All he had to say was,
"Hey, you got this. Just breathe." Hey, we're pretty good.
Yeah.
Might have to start a band.
I got it.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Your high school postgame show is brought to you by Elena and Ben Reeves at Edward Jones, a financial service firm serving individuals and business owners.
Is your money working as hard as it should be? This is Elena Reeves with Edward Jones. If you want to provide for your children's education, reduce your tax bill, or prepare for a comfortable retirement, we need to talk. Today, more than ever, your financial security deserves the attention of full-time financial advisors. Take advantage of our years of experience. Contact financial advisors Elena or Ben Reeves at 608-348-2441 or stop by our office on Highways 80 and 81 in Platteville next to Sups Nutrition. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Grand Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of Tuesday Night Volleyball presented by Cuba City, Kieler, and Darlington Family Dental and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors on 97.7 Country WGLR and on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel presented by H&M Plumbing, Heating, Electrical, and Laley Center Monroe. Potosi is 5-0 and now 1-0 in the Six Rivers West, beating Belmont tonight 20-25, 25-20, 25-13, 19-25, 15-10. The Braves are now 0-4, and they are 0-2 in the Six Rivers West. Potosi hosts Schulzburg for their home opener coming up on Thursday, and doesn't get any easier for Belmont. They host Highland here on Thursday. As you can imagine by the scores, it was a pretty back and forth, kind of big waves of momentum, basically, and we'll talk about more. We'll talk more about that, I should say, after these messages on 97.7 Country WGLR.
Post-game, 2 minutes.
Parents, we know we can't protect our kids from everything. Eventually, they're going to bump their heads or scrape their knees. But we can protect them from 6 types of cancer. HPV, or human papillomavirus, is a common preventable virus that can cause cancer later in life. The HPV vaccine prevents human papillomavirus and all the cancers it can cause. The American Cancer Society recommends getting your sons and daughters the HPV vaccine starting at age 9 to protect them later in life.
I'm Dr. Miller, a dentist and a volunteer for Dental Lifeline Network. DLN is a nonprofit that has helped me literally change the lives of people in my community through the Donated Dental Services program. DLN asks dentists to volunteer to see just one of the many patients in need each year. If you're a dentist or know a dentist, please share this information. Like me, they can make a real difference in someone's life. DLN makes it easy.
Go to willyouseeone.org to learn more. That's willyouseeone.org.
Mama, what does the chicken say? Dog. Cat. Giraffe.
Giraffe, really? Giraffe.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right.
Visit NHTSA.gov/the
right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I think it's just vapor.
Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
One vape pod has as much nicotine as one pack of cigarettes.
My kid
knows it's dangerous. 5.4 million American kids vape, and most think it's harmless. Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org. That's talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Post game, 2 minutes.
Carey Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of Tuesday Night Volleyball presented by Cuba City, Kieler, and Darlington. Family Dental and Carey's Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors on 97.7 Country WGLR and on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel powered by, or presented, I should say, by H&N Plumbing, Heating, and Electrical and Laley Center Monroe. Potosi went down a set but came back to beat Belmont in a thriller today, 20-25, 25-20, 25-13, 19-25, 15-10. Set number 5 was, it's not obviously where all the action was, but that's kind of where things turned, I guess. Potosi had a 2-0 and 4-1 lead. Belmont came back to tie it, or Belmont came back to take a 6-5, actually a 7-5 lead, but then the Chieftains tied it at 7 and then took the lead at 8-7. Belmont came back to tie it at 9. Chieftains got the lead at 10-9 and ended up winning it 15-10. So the Tricor Turning Point presented by Tricor Insurance. Insurance plans built for you, your family, your business. Contact Tricor Insurance today. That would be the conclusion of the match when Potosi scored, I think that was 6 of the last 7 points or 5 of the last 6 points or something like that in order to get the win tonight. Our most valuable player presented by Hermson's Ace Hardware and Home Center in Bloomington and Hermson's Ace Hardware at the bottom of Main and Platteville. Hermson's will be the MVP for your next project, for the next project in your home. Go to Hermson's Ace Hardware, Bloomington and Platteville. Well, it's kind of tough to pick somebody out tonight, but I'm going to go with Lily Cooley, I think, for Potosi, and I do not have numbers for her, but feels like she was kind of involved in everything consistently through the match up front. So that's what I'm going to say. Lily Cooley for Potosi and our MVP in the win. And we mentioned the Tricor Turning Point already. So we will be back to wrap up Tuesday Night Volleyball, another 5-set thriller, and tell you about what's going on this weekend and next week. All of that after this on 97.7 Country WGLR.
Post game, 1 minute.
How do you give hope to a child in the foster care system? It starts with your heart. That tug you feel in yours when you hear that children are waiting for a stable, loving influence to speak up for their best interests. And then it becomes your time. What started out as a feeling that maybe you could make a difference becomes the difference. Change a child's story. There is a child waiting for a volunteer like you.
Learn how you can help at nationalcasagal.org.
Paralyzed Veterans of America believes the veterans who've served and sacrificed deserve access to the best our country has to offer. Access to homes, communities, meaningful employment, and the veterans' benefits they've earned. With PVA staff working inside VA hospitals, no other veterans organization has provided more real-time ongoing support for paralyzed veterans and their families. Our nation's heroes fought for your independence. Join PVA in fighting for theirs at pva.org.
Post-game 1 minute.
Carey Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of Tuesday Night Volleyball presented by Cuba City, Kieler, and Darlington Family Dental and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors on 97.7 Country WGLR and on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel powered by H&N Plumbing, Heating, and Electrical and Laley Center Monroe. Potosi beats Belmont tonight 20-25, 25-20, 25-13, 19-25, 15-10, and so the Chieftains 5-0 and 1-0 in the Six Rivers West, with Schulzberg coming to Potosi for the home opener on Thursday, and Belmont now 0-4 and 0-2 in the Six Rivers West, with Highland coming on Tuesday. Coming up on Friday, well, wait, before that we have Brewers baseball the next couple of nights with Philadelphia at American Family Field. That will be Wednesday and Thursday, 5:05 on AM 1590 WPVL. Friday, Brewers are in Pittsburgh at 5:05 on AM 1590 WPVL. And then Friday also, football, Richland Center at Lancaster on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Platteville at Prairie du Chien on X1071 and Belleville at Cuba City on Super Hits 106 and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel, all about 6:30 starts approximately. Saturday, Badger football hosting Middle Tennessee, 1 o'clock start on 97.7 Country WGLR. Sunday, Packer football, first game that counts, hosting Detroit at 1, Sunday on 97.7 Country WGLR. And volleyball back on Tuesday, Schulzberg at Belmont, about a 7 o'clock start here on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. R.J. Osterhaus is our sports director. Rob Spangler, our program director, and helped us get the huddle camera working. Johnny Page is our chief engineer. Tyler DeTanis, Mr. Streaming Fix-It, but he had the night off. Thanks to Brandon Wise of the staff at Belmont High School. Thanks to our sponsors who help us bring this game to you, and thank you for joining us. Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of Tuesday Night Volleyball presented by Cuba City, Kieler, and Darlington Family Dental and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors is a Queen Bee Radio Sports presentation on 97.7 Country WGLR Lancaster and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel presented by H&N Plumbing, Heating, and Electrical and Laley Center Monroe. Potosi wins over Belmont in 5 sets, 20-25, 25-20, 25-13, 19-25, 15-10. For the year's furniture best seat in the house, I'm Steve Prestigard. 97.7 Country Nights is next. We'll be back for Football Friday and more volleyball next week.
This has been a Queen Bee Radio High School Sports presentation.
The Tri-State's best variety of country. 97.7 Country, WGLR-FM. Lancaster. Serving Platteville, Dubuque, Galena, and beyond. On WGLR.com. A Queen Bee radio station.